A me invece Roma piace moltissimo. È una specie di giungla, tiepida, tranquilla, dove ci si può nascondere bene.
What of the Rome that has stood for 1,000 years? Dirty and magnificent, but still our beloved Rome. It still stands.
There's no walking the streets of Rome without accidentally stumbling upon an ancient wonder or an epic piece of art and architecture. As you navigate the chaos of the narrow streets and alleys, you will inevitably and without fail find yourself in front of something that truly takes your breath away. I can't find the words to adequately describe Rome. Maybe that makes me a poor writer. Or maybe that's because Rome cannot be described. After all, what is it? A religious pilgrimage? An archaeological site? Or is it just where the middle-aged go after a divorce? Yes, yes, and yes. So when people ask me, should I go to Rome, the answer without hesitation is yes. In this video, I give you no tips, no itinerary, and no restaurant recommendations. I only give you the experience of my last few days in the Eternal City, and I hope that one day you too will experience Rome because, well, because it's Rome. Since this would most definitely be my last stint in Rome for who knows how long, I had to pop into Barnum and have one last coffee with Kevin, Daniele, and the rest of the Barnum staff. Kevin, the resident barista / philosopher, wanted to send us off with a toast. We happily obliged.
Okay,
Exactly, you know.
okay, what are we toasting to?
Yeah. What we toast, you tell us.
I don't know, you tell
You
us.
are the good with words.
To Barnum's.
Barnum.
Cheers.
The first Barnum and the last Barnum.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, so come to Barnum a Roma. Ciao ragazzi.
Thank you to Kevin, Daniele, Sylvia, I think her name was,
Yes.
and the whole staff at Barnum. You guys were amazing and made our time in Roma perfetto. Grazie mille. So it's our last night in Rome, and we've been zipping around the streets of Rome in these bird scooters. So we figured today, at twilight, watching the sunset, we're gonna do one last tour around the city and see if we can hit up all the sites before sunset and then go to dinner, all with the help of these bird scooters that are around the city, which have been fantastic and amazing to get around. Great way to get around Rome, other than those side bumpy streets, which you may or may not see. We'll try to avoid them. Anyway, let's get on these birds. Alright, so we just parked near Trevi Fountain. As fun as that was, there's always like, you have to be uber defensive. Cab drivers are moving out. I guess Euros are going on, so there's a lot of road closures, which means that cars are having trouble navigating the streets and you kind of got to work around them. But, you know, luckily we made it here safely, and check out the first stop on our last night of Rome tour. Alright, so the tradition is to throw a penny into the fountain. I don't know why, and I don't believe it's true, but we'll do it anyway because we're already here. Thing. You're behind it? Alright, cool. What are we wishing for? Oh, yeah, that's a better one. That's definitely the wish, okay. If you say what we're wishing for, then it's not coming true, right? Now, ready? One.
Okay,
No,
you have to toss it.
You have to toss
I'm
it.
tossing it?
Because I'm holding it.
Well, I'm holding it wrong.
Okay,
I need to
fine.
toss it.
Ready. All right, I think we figured out the logistics. Close eyes, and you're gonna toss.
1, 2, 3. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to throw it because you don't have an arm.
One more.
Ready? Eyes closed. You tell me if I got
On
it.
behalf of our family, like our
On
house.
behalf of La Mia Familia. Alright. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Did I get it in? Kobe! Alright, let's go. It's been great being in Rome these last 2 weeks, and you know, over these last 2 weeks, I really feel like I got more of a sense of the city. Definitely got to see a lot more of the city and got to see it a lot slower. Got to meet some people and have some conversations, and it's just been a great time here in Rome. But like, as I'm looking at, as like my time is coming to an end, I'm thinking about the things that we've seen and experienced, and even some of the history of Rome itself. There's so many monuments and statues in different sites around here commemorating a Caesar or a Pope or some other person. And then I think about the conversations back home and and how different Western countries are sort of starting to deal with their own history and how they're going to deal with monuments and statues of different people that they've erected over the years that maybe you don't necessarily agree with their ideals anymore. Then you think about a place like this, the Colosseum, where thousands of years ago was a place where someone who maybe didn't believe the same things, or someone who was from an occupied land or a slave even, would have been brought here to die for the entertainment of Romans. I don't know where I'm at in the debate of like tearing down statues and things like that. I feel like it's a bit of erasure. Is that the right word? Erasure? I feel like it's trying to just erase history and sort of make you like turn a blind eye to it, rather than finding a way to learn from it and teach another generation about it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I really don't have an opinion on like whether statues should be torn down or not at this point. Like if the Romans decided to tear down a lot of their statues over the years or destroy them, then there would be a lot of empty museums in Rome. Not to say that some of the statues of Confederate soldiers and, you know, government leaders that, you know, exerted oppression over other people belong in museums, but like it speaks to who maybe we were at that time. And, you know, if we as a country or as a society are not that anymore, then great. Let's take them off the streets, but let's still, like, I don't know, learn from them. Learn from the fact that we are the kind of people, despite who and what we think we are, that can make idols of some pretty crappy people. And we don't necessarily know how crappy they are or even how crappy we are until much later. So I can look at this and be like, wow, what an achievement of human engineering and what humans are able to do when they set their mind to it. We can build really cool, impressive things that last for 2,000 years. Or I can just look at it as like, hey, this is a place where thousands of people needlessly died. Then I think about sport today. Like, essentially this was a place for sport where people died for sport. So maybe in like 500 years or 1,000 years, people will look at like NFL stadiums or, you know, Jerry's Cowboys Stadium in Arlington and be like, wow, this was a really terrible place where people, where a bunch of people would come and like smash their heads together and inflict lifelong injuries upon each other. And then we'll feel really terrible that we as humans allowed that to happen. But anyway, I'm hungry. Let's go eat.
That night, Italy was playing Belgium in the Euro Cup tournament, and there's no better place in the world to be than in Rome. For 90 minutes, every possible Italian emotion was on display on the streets of Rome. Since you probably already know what the result was, I'll just skip to the good part. Last morning in Rome. I'm gonna go for a quick bird ride, and there's one more building, which is my favorite building in Rome, that I haven't really had the chance to see yet. So I'm gonna go check it out. I spent my last morning in Rome kind of wandering around the Vittor Emanuele II, also known as the Vittoriano, also known as the Altare della Patria, also known as Piazza Venezia, also known as the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So this huge, impressive monument was built to honor the unification of Italy. And like everything else here, it's massive in scale, it's impressive in architecture, and it's just made to make you feel small as soon as you walk in. It's meant to make you feel like, wow, these guys are better than me. So the monument was built in honor of Vittor Emanuele II. Because of the various patriotic symbolism and things of national pride, it's also known as the Altare della Patria, which means the altar of the fatherland, or better yet, the altar of the country. So Mussolini, the leader of Italy during World War II, who aligned himself with Hitler and the rest of the fascists, would stand on these steps and give these speeches and rile up his crowd into nationalistic pride. And if giving speeches to rile up your base into a toxic patriotism and nationalism sounds eerily familiar in your country, then trust your instincts. Anyway, catching a train this morning, which means packing our bags and lugging around a 50-pound suitcase and heading to the next stop on this Italian tour. It's sad. It's sad. Feel Rome, you know, as crazy as it might sound, it actually started to feel a little bit like home this time around. It is nice to feel like you're a part of the city and not just passing through. And for me, that was just about 2 weeks. And now, just as I'm feeling that sense of familiarity and comfort with the city, it's time to pack up and move on to the next one. And where is that next one? We are going to the epicenter of the Renaissance, as the English might say. So that'll be the next video from Firenze, Florence, Italy. I always love hearing your thoughts and comments and opinions on anything you've seen, heard, or anything I've discussed in any of these videos. And so drop a comment below, leave a like, share, and all that jazz. For now, as they say here in Italy, ciao belli. And you gotta do the hand thing. Ciao belli. Peace.